In the tumultuous era of the American Wild West, a select group of infamous outlaws rose to prominence, becoming legends due to their ruthless actions. Among these figures, one name epitomizes the essence of unrestrained lawlessness and audacious defiance: Belle Starr. Renowned as the Queen of Bandits, she was the most infamous female criminal of her era, instilling fear in the hearts of many. Belle Starr's life was marked by scandal, violence, and intrigue, representing a rebellion against the societal norms of her time. Born Myra Belle Shirley on February 5, 1848, in a log cabin near Carthage, Missouri, she was the daughter of John Shirley, a judge who relocated to Missouri from Indiana with his third wife, Eliza, after two previous marriages. Her mother, Eliza Hatfield Shirley, was distantly related to the Hatfield family, known for their long-standing feud with the McCoy family. The marriage between John and Eliza was viewed as a disgrace, yet she consistently supported him throughout their lives. John Shirley established a substantial ranch in Jasper County, Missouri, cultivating wheat and corn while raising cattle. Myra had an older brother, John Allison Budd, born in 1842, and a younger brother, Edwin, born in 1850. The following decade proved financially prosperous for the Shirley family, who welcomed two additional sons. In 1856, they sold their land and relocated to Carthage, Missouri, where they ventured into various businesses, including an inn, tavern, stables, and a blacksmith shop. John Shirley became a notable figure in the burgeoning community of Carthage. Meanwhile, Myra Belle received her education at the Girls' Academy, where she studied classical music and languages. Despite her privileged upbringing, Myra Belle exhibited a rebellious spirit and a desire to stand out. She relished outdoor adventures, exploring the countryside with her brother Bud, who taught her horseback riding and marksmanship. The family's tranquil existence was dramatically disrupted by the onset of the Kansas-Missouri border war. Continuous violent clashes between the residents of Kansas and Missouri transformed neighbors into adversaries. The situation intensified when Bud enlisted in Quantrell's Raiders, a notorious Confederate guerrilla group. Serving as a scout, Bud distinguished himself and rapidly ascended to the rank of captain. Unfortunately, his promising military career was abruptly ended when he was killed in combat in June 1864. The raids had a profound effect on the Shirley family's business, compelling them to sell their property in Missouri and relocate to a ranch near Cheyenne, Texas. This small community, situated southeast of Dallas, offered the family an opportunity to rebuild their lives and escape their tumultuous past. In 1866, the notorious James Younger Gang executed their first bank heist in Liberty, Missouri, netting $6,000 in cash and bonds. Following the robbery, Jesse and Frank James, along with the Younger brothers, fled to Texas, where they encountered a young woman named Myra Shirley. Myra quickly developed an attraction to Cole Younger and became involved with their outlaw gang. During their stay in Texas, Belle reconnected with Jim Reed, whom she had known as a child in Missouri. The two fell in love and were wed on November 1, 1866. Despite their criminal backgrounds, the Shirley family accepted the marriage, as Jim was not yet a fugitive. After their wedding, Jim moved in with the Shirley family on their farm near Cheyenne and assisted with the chores. However, the couple eventually relocated to Reed Ranch in Missouri. In September 1868, Belle welcomed her first child, a daughter whom she cherished and affectionately named Pearl. Belle's life with Jim Reed would be fraught with challenges, as he frequently evaded the law due to his involvement in various illegal activities. Cole Younger's presence at the Shirley estate sparked rumors that he had seduced Belle and fathered her illegitimate daughter. Younger refuted the allegations, asserting that he visited the Shirleys in Texas in 1864 rather than 1866. He further stated that he encountered Belle again in 1868 at the Reed Mansion in Missouri, where she was expecting her first child. Some historians suggest that Younger's denial may stem from his Southern sense of politeness. However, a manuscript edited by Richard Reed, Belle's husband's brother, corroborates Younger's account. Following their relocation to Missouri, Reed was accused of murdering a man named Shannon and subsequently became a fugitive. The couple fled to California with their daughter Pearl and later welcomed their second child, Edward. In 1869, Belle, Reed, and two other outlaws ventured north of the Canadian River, where they tortured an elderly Creek Indian until he disclosed the location of $30,000 in hidden gold. With their share of the treasure, Jim and Belle returned to Texas, where she earned the notorious title of Queen of Bandits. However, Reed's outlaw life ultimately led to his demise. He was killed in a gunfight by a gang member in August 1874. Belle left her children with her mother and continued her outlaw lifestyle, entering a relationship with an outlaw named Blue Duck in Indian Territory, now known as Oklahoma. This romance was brief as she soon became involved with Sam Starr, a tall and slender Cherokee. The couple secretly settled on Sam's 62-acre estate north of the Canadian River, near Briartown, which Belle named Younger's Bend in honor of Cole Younger. Together they formed a gang, attracting other groups to their cause. From their hideout along the Canadian River, they led a life of crime, stealing horses and whiskey for the Native Americans. Belle Starr, recognized as the Queen of Bandits, was notorious for using her charm to manipulate any captured gang member. If necessary, she would employ her feminine allure to persuade lawyers, often succeeding in securing the release of her companions. The actions of the Starr Gang drew the scrutiny of law enforcement in Fort Smith, Arkansas, where the esteemed Judge Isaac Parker oversaw the legal proceedings. Parker was resolute in his efforts to incarcerate Belle Starr. On multiple occasions, Belle faced arrest and was brought before representatives of Judge Parker, confronting allegations of minor theft and smuggling. Nevertheless, she was consistently released due to insufficient evidence. However, in the autumn of 1882, Parker's fortune changed when Belle was apprehended for stealing a horse from a neighbor. She was subsequently tried and sentenced to 2 consecutive 6-month prison terms, while Sam received a 1-year sentence in federal prison in Detroit. After completing their sentences, Belle and Sam Starr resumed their criminal activities. In 1886, they were arrested once more for robbery and horse theft. The United States Sheriff transported them to Fort Smith for trial, but the charges were dismissed due to lack of evidence. Despite this, Belle gained notoriety and was depicted as a folk hero of the West in publications like Richard Fox's Police Gazette. She was likened to a female Robin Hood and Jesse James, earning the moniker Queen of Bandits. Following her release from prison, Belle joined a Wild West show, portraying an outlaw. In 1886, Sam Starr engaged in a duel with his former rival, Frank West, at a Christmas gathering, resulting in both men's deaths. However, Belle did not remain single for long. In 1889, she married a significantly younger bandit named Jim July. Their relationship was fraught with conflict, and during a heated dispute, July allegedly offered to pay someone to kill Belle. When this proposal was rejected, he purportedly threatened her life and intended to use the money for whiskey. On February 3, 1889, Belle Starr was ambushed and murdered on a desolate country road at the age of 41. The precise details surrounding her assassination remain unclear, and no one has been held accountable for her death. An inquiry was initiated regarding the circumstances surrounding Belle Starr's demise, leading to the questioning of several individuals, including her neighbor Watson, her husband Jim July, her son Ed, and her daughter Pearl, all of whom were considered potential suspects. It appears that Belle's marriage to Jim July had deteriorated due to his involvement with a young Cherokee woman. Additionally, there are allegations of a possible incestuous relationship between Belle and her estranged son Ed, who reportedly suffered abuse at her hands. Furthermore, it has been alleged that Belle obstructed Pearl's marriage to the father of her child, which may have driven Pearl to commit patricide. Following Belle's death, a lieutenant monitoring Jim July was found severely injured. These revelations emerged from historical documentation and investigative efforts. Belle was interred in the front yard of the chalet at Younger's Bend, and a few months later, Pearl commissioned a stonemason to construct a monument at her mother's grave, featuring a carving of her beloved mare, Venus. Although Belle Starr may have met a tragic end, her legacy endures as the most infamous female outlaw of the Wild West. Her courageous spirit, exceptional marksmanship, and magnetic personality have inspired numerous tales of adventure and cinematic portrayals. From her youthful defiance to her final moments as a celebrated bandit queen, Belle Starr has demonstrated that women can be as formidable as any man in the Wild West. If you find this video content engaging and informative, please like and share it. Remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below to stay updated on future intriguing videos. Thank you for watching.